With its puzzling and unexplained disappearances of ships, planes, and people, the Bermuda Triangle, sometimes known as the Devil's Triangle, has long captured the attention of the world. This mysterious area, which lies between the southeast coast of the United States, Bermuda, and the Greater Antilles, has long been the subject of many hypotheses and rumors. But what all theories and mysteries are behind the Devil's Triangle? Buckle up as we examine in depth the many enigmas surrounding the Bermuda Triangle. Over the last century, several hundred ships and aircraft have vanished in the infamous Bermuda Triangle. While scientists struggle to figure out what is causing these inexplicable disappearances and massive tragedies in this area, similar anomalies have appeared all over the planet, making the Bermuda Triangle even more deadly. Under strange circumstances, dozens of such communications have been discovered in the black boxes of planes that crashed over the Bermuda Triangle. It extends from the Bermuda Islands in Florida to Puerto Rico. This territory is quite big, covering around 805,000 square kilometers. Furthermore, it is a location for the Atlantic Ocean's deepest point, the MILWAUKEE Deep, containing almost 1.5 of Mount Kilimanjaro. As a result, it's not surprising that portions of many ships and planes missing in this region have yet to be discovered. But even when researchers were able to locate the missing ships, what they discovered made no sense. For example, in 1944, the U.S. Navy discovered the Rubicon, an American ship in the Bermuda Triangle near Florida. Everyone thought the ship had sunk after losing communication with it a month before it was discovered, when it left Cuba for Havana. The passengers' relatives were not going insane trying to figure out where their loved ones had gone. The military instantly realized that the ship was safe and sound and hurried to save the people on board. But even though over 300 people were supposed to be on board, a dog appeared out of nowhere and ran around the deck, and there was not a single human being to be discovered. The hypothesis of all 5 airplanes failing at the same time appears implausible. After all, they were properly examined before departure. There are even more logical holes in the tale of what happened on December 4, 1970, to a BEECHCRAFT Bonanza plane. The pilot and 2 passengers took off from Andros Island in the Bahamas for the Florida coast. They had to fly 400 kilometers at an altitude of 3,500 meters, which normally takes 90 minutes of flight time. The pilot noticed an unusual cloud with a cylindrical shape. The diameter of this pipe was more than 1 kilometer, and the length seemed to go on forever since it was so massive. The pilot was forced to fly through the cloud. When the plane crashed into it, it turned pitch black. Suddenly, bright white lights appeared on the airplane, lighting everything around it. However, it wasn't lightning. According to the pilot, he had already begun to bid goodbye to life. But after about a minute, he saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Their electrical equipment stopped working simultaneously, and the compass needle rotated and whirled erratically. The pilot felt weightless at one point, and the plane broke through the clouds. At the same time, it was discovered that they were practically in Miami. Even though the voyage had only lasted 47 minutes, the plane consumed far less gasoline than usual. Again, these Bermuda Triangle instances are pretty puzzling. The weekly World News is probably reliable. The writers of the tabloids come up with paranormal explanations for all types of happenings in America and worldwide to increase the number of people who buy their newspapers, which are excitingly different from other newspapers. Despite this, scientists continue to examine this difficult zone for a scientific explanation for the disasters here. The plane and its crew have been presumed missing in the Bermuda Triangle since the message was recorded, but no one knows what things in the sky startled the pilots. Although many scientists feel they have answered the mystery of this enigmatic watered area, each has its theory. Some scholars believe that a great number of sandbars and reefs are the cause of shipwrecks in this area. However, this theory was worth examining only many years ago, when wooden ships traversed the ocean for modern equipment on ships. This is no longer a severe issue, and other researchers are interested in the massive bubbles in the Bermuda Triangle. According to these researchers, the waters that come from breaches in tectonic plates are explosive methane gas that explodes into gigantic bubbles when it reaches the surface. When they reach the surface, they can damage or even devour a whole ship. Still, this idea ignores that some ships that went missing in the Bermuda Triangle were never discovered and were also completely intact. Yet, there is one theory that cannot explain this. According to geologists, waves can emit infrared sound during a storm, which is detrimental to the neurological system. Ordinary people are seeking to unravel this enigma as well. For example, in the comments section of an article on the Triangle, a woman named Jaden Hunsaker proposed her theory. She explains why planes, as well as ships, vanish in the Triangle. The thing is, during his 1492 maritime voyage, Christopher Columbus witnessed an explosion in the sky. According to his notebook, the sky suddenly turned bright, and the compass needles began to behave strangely. The girl speculates that the flash could be in a magnetic asteroid, and that because planes and ships are composed of metal, the magnetic celestial body that dropped into it could not have attracted them to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. Science has discovered asteroids with their magnetic fields. Nevertheless, if such an object fell into the sea in the 15th century, recordings of it would have been retained not just in Columbus's notebook, but also in Columbus himself, who was near the crash site. The sailor reported that during one of their sea voyages, he felt something was amiss when the ship began to go over the waves extraordinarily rapidly, despite the equipment showing the normal speed. And these sensations did not disappoint him. A few minutes later, the devilry on board began. The captain of the ship initially grew ill. It appeared to him that his hands were heavy, and he couldn't lift them to the helm, and the helmsman couldn't keep a steady course because the compass was spinning like crazy. The crew then observed that all the clocks on board advanced by 2 hours. Spencer noticed a massive, unexplained white flying object in the sky, which 2 smaller ones accompanied. The sailor dashed out to send an email explaining what had happened in Morse code, but he noticed that he was suddenly moving extremely slowly. Simultaneously, another sailor attempted to light a cigarette, but nothing came out because it quickly burned out. The crystals dropped to the bottom when a large flood flooded Atlantis, but that didn't stop them from doing their work. As a result, unlike scientists, equipment and compasses fail when sailing or flying in this area. Hypotheses and theories about UFOs and Atlantis explain all the oddities of the triangle. Still, the existence of UFOs in the mythical city of Atlantis has yet to be proven by science, so neither side has convincing evidence, and we still do not know how to protect people from incidents in this area. At the same time, similar anomalies occur here in other parts of the world. After getting into dangerous waters between Bermuda, Florida, and Puerto Rico, many teams of sailors attempted to save their ship. This is not, however, the sole danger zone in the world's waters. One of these anomalies draws the attention of scientists, tourists, and extreme divers. We were talking about Australia, whose west coast has been dubbed the shipwreck capital of the world. So many people perished in these waters that rumors about ghosts among locals and tourists continue to this day, with locals and tourists practically swimming among the dead in 2022. This location has been a cemetery for Dutch, British, and Portuguese ships traveling from Europe to Indonesia since the late 16th century. They went too far east into the waters of Western Australia and vanished, but the Devil's Triangle is still connected with weird incidents. Triangle music was the last word a Japanese fighter pilot said during a crash over this area in August 1945. Near Tokyo, the Devil's Triangle crosses the Pacific Ocean. People used to believe that the ocean was home to dragons that attacked seafarers, based on ancient legends. Kublai Khan, the 5th great Khan of the Mongol Empire and grandson of Genghis Khan, was claimed to have attempted to invade Japan twice in 1274 and 1281, but he suddenly lost his ships and around 40,000 crew members. The Japanese thought that the gods prevented the conquerors. Later, at the turn of the 20th century, fishing ships and battleships frequently sank in this area. Although many unanswered questions surround the Bermuda Triangle, as we investigate new aspects like electromagnetic anomalies, undersea geological features, and space weather, we get closer to finding answers. The Bermuda Triangle riddles can be approached with a more informed and logical viewpoint thanks to our thorough analysis of various circumstances, even though some aspects may still be unsolved. What are your thoughts on the mysteries of the Devil's Triangle? Leave your answers in the comments section below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thank you for watching.